What's up, everybody? Checking my mic levels. I think I am rocking and rolling. I got my coffee. What else? I think that's it, right? I'm always trying to figure this thing out. I got too many buttons and everything else going. Oh boy. Yeah, too much going on. All right. Let's see. Bear with me one sec. One sec. All right. I think I'm good. Hopefully you got your coffee. This is the DECAF edition, so hopefully it's decaf. I don't want you up all night. And this is Coffee with the Cowbell. I am your host with the most, Ricardo Wilkins, resident teams geek. Here to geek out with you on another Coffee with the Cowbell decaf edition. You might wonder, Rick, I like the decaf edition, but if there's a decaf edition, where's the regular edition? The regular edition was on Saturday mornings. I just find that tough to keep up with. My goal, though, is to bring that back. I don't know. The decaf edition's easy. I'm 9 p.m. That's early for me, but that early morning was a little challenging. If you prefer the early morning, let me know. If somebody lets me know that that's what they want, then I'll make the sacrifice. But yeah, that was tough. I was doing 11:30, then I tried to do 8:30. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But again, you have reached Coffee with the Cowbell Decaf Edition, 9 p.m. Eastern. So wherever you are, whether you're joining live or on demand, glad you're here. So the next question you might ask yourself is, what are you going to talk about today, Ricardo? Well, glad you asked. Actually, I just thought I would talk about something that has kind of a new twist lately, and that is moderating chat in Teams. And so what do I mean by the new twist? I would say that before the recent release of Q&A in the Teams meeting, you had two flavors of moderating chat, and maybe let me go back and kind of describe that. Moderating chat meaning you're in a meeting, you're in a broadcast, people are watching, and while it's going on, people are putting questions in the chat that you or maybe your panelists or whoever wants to respond to. So not so much coming off mute and asking their question, but rather typing in the chat. So the flavors you had before would be live event, and I'm going to show all three of these tonight. Live event is your large scale broadcasts, up to 20,000 people, potentially 100,000 if depending on how you do it, and so with numbers like that, yes, you do want a moderated Q&A versus letting 20,000 people come off mute to ask their question. So that'd be the typical moderated Q&A. Then you had a regular Teams meeting, fits 1,000 people. So yes, the Teams meetings you're having today, those things can get up to 1,000 people. And so with that, one could argue there's a need to moderate chat as well. I mean, 1,000 people chatting could also be a little cumbersome. However, it isn't moderated. And by moderated, I mean, let me, the moderator, see your chat post first and decide whether to publish it to the rest of the audience or whether to address it privately and things like that. Today in a regular Teams meeting, chat is open to everyone if you've enabled it, and there's no moderation. There's no ability for someone to decide whether or not everybody else will see that chat in the current Teams meeting. At least that was until very recently with the release of Q&A in Teams, which now does provide that capability through the Q&A app. So that's the lead in to what I'll try to show those three. I'll lead up to the new functionality, so you can kind of understand why it's significant. This new functionality, and for many, they've been waiting for this kind of functionality. Let me switch over here to my demo environment. And so I'm going to go in the order that I just talked about. So starting with a live event. So in the next few minutes, you'll get the benefit of two things if you aren't familiar with anything I've just described. You get the benefit of seeing me start up a meeting like a live event, as well as showing the moderation. So we'll be jam-packed with information tonight. Okay, let's start with live events, the large-scale one-to-many kind of deal. So, if you are licensed for it, or enabled for it is probably a better way to say that. We can come in here and we say we want we come to the calendar and we want to make a new meeting, but not just a meeting, we want an actual live event. Okay. Now you may say, what about webinars? Isn't that a fourth one? Really, the webinar is it's not the large scale one-to-many kind of broadcast event. It is essentially a Teams meeting with webinar capabilities like registration. So this will essentially apply for the second scenario we'll show. So let's go to live event, and you're setting up a live event. We title it whatever we want. We got a lot of features here. I'm not going to go through all of them because we're here specifically to talk about the Q&A. So I would name it, the time, so forth and so on. I would add presenters that I'm going to want and so forth, and hit next. Decide my audience. Most of the time, at least most of the ones I've done have just been public. I want anybody on the planet to be able to see it. Of course, I got other options there. And then an important decision point here is whether or not to enable Q&A. I can certainly have a live event that does not have it at all. This is my chance to turn on that option for me. So there's Q&A. I think you can see that. I'm going to hit schedule. So essentially, it's ready to go. I'm going to jump right into it. Hit join here. Again, I didn't go into all the details of a live event, which link is for the attendees and which is for the presenters and the producer and all that good stuff. So for instance, we are joining this live event now as a producer. Again, this isn't a live event. I'm not explaining everything about live events. I'm coming here to show moderation. So our Q&A moderation is here. Now, before I even click it, look at the difference here. Chat in a live event is the chat of the presenters and producer, basically the people behind. This will be behind the camera, in front of it's the folks doing the meeting, not the attendees. I should say that's their chat, which is nice. It's kind of like back chat, talking to each other while the presentation's going on, coordinating, that kind of thing. But that is different from Q&A. In a live event, Q&A is for the attendees to interact with. Again, I'm getting the producer view here but the attendees view looks very similar. They certainly don't have a make an announcement button. So in fact, let's see. Yeah, I won't go into all the details. Suffice it to say, the attendee has options for posting a comment, When they do, it's going to come in to me, the producer, or the people in the live event that I've set as moderators, or who have decided to be moderators. They come in and they see these posts come in the new column. And then, of course, I'd have to simulate a post, but when it comes in, they get to decide whether to publish it or whether to just reply to it. Okay, so this concept of new and published, or even dismissed being it came in, I didn't really want to do anything to, well, I didn't publish it, or maybe I replied to it, but essentially I want to get it out of the new column, and so that's dismissed. And then, of course, published would be those posts that the attendees are going to see. So if I publish something, it's going to appear here, and everyone's going to see it. If I don't publish it, I can still interact with it, but no one's going to see that interaction. Other than if I reply directly, the person that posted would see that. But so a lot of stuff just said there, but again, this is the concept of moderation, posts coming in and me deciding what to do with them, and this is what it looks like in a live event. I may come back to this if it's valuable to see the end user view. Okay, so that's the live event concept. In fact, let me, where am I? I'm gonna come here, and I am going to copy, copy this, and come over here, open an in private window, paste it. I'm saying to watch on the web instead. Watch the live event in Teams. I want to watch it in the browser. Okay, so you don't need your attendees don't need anything installed in order to watch your live event. So that's what I'm showing here. This person's watching via the web. They could sign in, or they could join anonymously. I'm going to join anonymously, so that means I'm just somebody on the planet with an internet connection and a browser that wants to watch your live event, and I can. So I came in here for the purpose of showing what it looks like for that end user. I haven't actually started the live event, that's why we see that. But again, I can ask a question. I'm going to do that. I'll zoom in here. You know, it lets me put my name if I want, and I can ask a question. I can post it anonymously. You know, when does this thing start? So I will just post that. It says ask a moderator. Now, what you now see, the tab for the attendee says my questions. These are the things that I posted. Why do I get that tab? Because I, you know, especially if a lot's going on here, the attendee may need to monitor what's happening with my different posts, because maybe the moderator replies to me directly, or kind of privately, I should say. And so this is my opportunity to privately interact with the moderator. The moderator, for whatever reason, decides not to publish it to everyone, but is still interacting with me. So I need a place to see that. So as you can see, the moderator and I could go back and forth and have a whole conversation here. Meanwhile, on the featured, which show the ones that have been posted publicly. So if I come back here, you will see that in the Q&A, there's I got a little dot, somebody's posted something. And so there it is in new, right? When does this thing start? Came through as anonymous, because you remember I didn't put my name or anything like that. I could dismiss it, you know, and that happens, right? People are maybe just putting LOL or whatever, right? I could dismiss it, or I could publish it, or I could reply. So here's a private reply. I'm just putting anything here. I've replied privately. I go back over here to the attendee, not in featured, but over in my questions, there's the moderator's reply. I could then come back here and decide to publish this. Let's go ahead and publish it. You see the publish column is now 1. There is a published thing, not my reply, but the post itself. Come back over here. It's still in my questions, but it's also in featured. The post is in my questions. The actual reply is there. So you kind of that should fully explain kind of how that whole thing works, right? So this is what the end user seeing and what the moderator is seeing. So that is a full blown concept of moderated chat or Q&A for an event or a meeting. All right, and so this was the way to do it in Teams, essentially. So I'm gonna leave this. I'm going to leave this. Basically gonna get out of the live event. All right. So we're all of that. So that's the live event concept. Let's then go to a regular meeting. And in fact, to do that, I'll just hit meet now. Start up a meeting. All right, so this is a regular meeting. Anybody create, I'll go ahead and join it. So as we know, in this meeting, we have chat. All right. My chat as the meeting owner looks just like your chat as a attendee of the meeting. We get meeting chat. As you can see, as the owner of this meeting or anybody else, I don't have any moderation controls here. I'm going to just see the chat like everybody else. What I can do, hopefully, I'm a big proponent of the meeting options. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll see me talk about this often. It's very powerful features here. I can certainly disable chat. And that's a good point. That's the closest I'll get to moderating chat in a Teams meeting until we talk about the new feature in a second. But I could disable the chat, and I can do that on the fly. And then you see chat is turned off. Nobody can say anything. So while that's not true channel moderation like what we just saw in live events, it's a nice little hack if you, prior to the new release, if you were trying to manage chat, you at least have a all or nothing switch. I could turn it all on or I could turn it all off. So if I was just trying to control, I got 1,000 people in this meeting and I want to just make sure nobody's chatting at this time, but then maybe there's a point where I can say, okay, I'm going to enable chat, start putting your questions in. That's close. It's not nowhere near as elegant as what we just saw with live events, but that's close, right? So that is an option, is using the meeting options to just disable chat. But other than that, I don't have any chat moderation capabilities here. Okay. And in fact, let me see here. So I'm going to leave this meeting. I should have ended it. That's fine. And then I'm going to come in and am I in the right? Make sure I'm in the right thing here. I'm gonna make a new. This is gonna be funny. Make a new meeting here. Okay, save it. And let's see. Let's go back in here. We're going to, because what I'm wondering is if I have. I always have problems with my tenant, this demo tenant. So let's see here. Oh, let's go here. Send an update. Get this thing going here. We want to join. And there we go. Okay. So this is still a regular Teams meeting. Hopefully you saw that. I got chat. You got everything you just saw. But what we also have recently released is this Q&A app. You can see it firing up. I got multiple environments. So for a second, I was wondering if I was in the right environment. That's what that little issue was there. But I am in the right environment. Q&A app, right? I fired it up for this meeting. I'm allowing my attendees to ask new questions, to respond to conversations. I'll even allow them to post anonymously. And I'll allow organizers to moderate the conversations. Okay. And so now, in addition to chat, just like with the live event, in addition to chat, we've got Q&A. And so very similar to the live event, right? In review, what was called new and live event, published and dismissed. Ask a question, start a discussion, a little different there. Those are my same, I just clicked the gearbox there. Those are my same options from before. So again, we've got this concept powered by Yammer of asking a question, posting it. Obviously, I'm the meeting organizer, but because I'm the meeting organizer, it's published right there. And yes, so very similar concept of what we just saw. A little more kind of, because it's powered by Yammer. Yammer is a very mature product for this kind of forum. You got a few more features like the fancy likes and things like that. But again, very similar concept. I wanted to show that I can come out here to that same conversation. Yeah, this is the one I'm in. What am I looking for? Yes, that's what I was looking for. It took a second. Where's my Q&A? There we go. Is it this one? There we go. Yeah. So if for whatever reason I wanted to use the chat area of Teams to monitor this, I could, which is kind of nice because it's a little bigger, maybe a little easier. And I'm certainly zoomed in for your benefit viewing this, but we get the same stuff going on either side. So again, the big deal here, why this is a big deal, why a lot of meeting owners and live event users are very happy about this release is, again, we have brought what wasn't there before, moderated chat into the normal Teams meeting experience. So again, this is a meeting that can hold up to 1,000 people in full fidelity, or full featured, unlike live event, right? Live event, your 20,000 attendees can't speak. They really just have the chat in order to interact. This is a meeting where your 1,000 attendees can do all the things, right? The reactions and the talking and the video and the breakout rooms and everything else, right? And now you've also got moderated chat. So some of the possibilities of something like this means that now you can consider instead of maybe there's a lot of moving parts related to doing a live event. And so now you've got the option to do a Teams meeting that you're comfortable with and get at least 1,000 people. If you need more than that, then you have no choice but live event. But now you also get moderated Q&A. So I've known several customers who moderated Q&A was the one thing they were waiting on for using this kind of feature. So this is a big day for many. I think this dropped maybe a week or two ago. So a lot of excitement out there. So yeah, I'm hoping that the way I described that there is, showing those three options helps you, appreciate the feature, a little more, the kind of the evolution of Q&A chat from regular Teams meeting to live events, now to a Teams meeting plus Q&A, moderated Q&A. All right. So I hope that was useful. It's about as good as I can get in 30 minutes. So again, hope that was useful. I'm glad you joined me. Appreciate I see one of you have gave me a sound check. Let me know I sounded right. I do appreciate that very much. Anybody that's watched this more than once knows I'm always obsessed with wondering if I'm on mute. If you've watched this more than once, you've probably caught me at least once talking for 5 minutes on mute. One of these days I have a shirt that says "You're on mute." I'm going to wear that in one of these sessions because it's embarrassing. But anyway, so thank you for that, and thank you for joining. I hope this was useful. I hope you got your DECAF. Go ahead and finish that off before you head to La La Land. And once again, this has been Coffee with the Cowbell.